It begins not with light, but with the absence of it, a silence so complete, even the laws of physics seem to hold their breath. Somewhere out there, between the glittering rivers of galaxies, a star dies, and in its death, something far more terrible is born. A black hole is not a thing. It is an absence that behaves like a presence, a place where the universe collapses into its own shadow. It doesn't merely destroy matter, it erases the very possibility of existence as we know it. Nothing, not time, not space, not even the desperate cry of light, can escape its pull. For decades, we've imagined black holes as monsters lurking at the edge of the cosmos, devouring everything that strays too close. But the truth is darker. They are not cosmic anomalies. They are the engine rooms of creation, the silent architects of galaxies, and perhaps the ultimate mirror held up to reality itself. Einstein's equations predicted them long before we believed they could exist. When he solved his general theory of relativity in 1915, he found that gravity was not a force but a curvature, the bending of space and time by mass. And if mass became dense enough, that curvature could fold in on itself completely, creating a region where all paths lead inward and none outward. At first, even Einstein rejected the idea. It was too strange, too absolute. But the universe, it seems, has no fear of strangeness. In 1964, the discovery of pulsars, rapidly spinning neutron stars, hinted at even denser objects. Then came Cygnus X-1, a star orbiting an invisible companion whose gravitational grip was too powerful to be explained. And finally we accepted it. The voids were real. But here's where the terror begins, because the closer we look, the less sense they make. At the heart of a black hole lies a singularity, a point where density becomes infinite and the known laws of physics collapse. Infinite gravity, zero volume, a paradox that even mathematics flinches from describing. If you were to fall toward one, you wouldn't crash against a surface. You would simply stretch, thin, and dissolve into geometry, your atoms unraveled by tidal forces, so extreme they have a name, spaghettification. Time itself slows as you approach the event horizon, the invisible boundary where escape becomes impossible. To a distant observer, you would appear frozen there forever, red-shifted into nothingness. But from your own perspective, you would cross the horizon in an instant, vanishing into silence, swallowed by eternity. And yet, that's not the end of your story. Because what happens inside a black hole doesn't just defy survival, it defies comprehension. Does the singularity truly exist, or is it a signal that our understanding of reality is incomplete? Does information, the essence of everything that was once you, disappear? Or does it remain encoded somehow, trapped in the shimmering quantum fabric of the event horizon? Stephen Hawking spent decades wrestling with this paradox, the information paradox. If black holes destroy information, then the universe violates one of its most sacred principles, that energy and data can neither be created nor destroyed. But if information survives, then where does it go? It was this tension, between what should vanish and what must endure, that led Hawking to his most haunting conclusion. Black holes don't merely consume. They radiate. Slowly, invisibly, they leak energy back into space as Hawking radiation, evaporating over unimaginable timescales. Even the darkest voids die, but only after trillions upon trillions of years, long after every star has burned out. Think about that. When the universe itself fades into cold silence, when even the last atom has decayed, black holes will still remain, whispering their final photons into the abyss. They are the universe's last heartbeat. If this idea grips you, if you feel that chill behind the wonder, then you're already one of us. Stay close to 404 Altverse. Subscribe, not to escape the darkness, but to learn how to see inside it. Because this is only the surface. What lies beneath the horizon is far stranger, and far more terrifying, than we ever dared to imagine. Imagine drifting toward one, a black hole, silent and vast, suspended like a godless eye in the dark. There is no sound, no light, no up or down. The stars around you stretch and twist, their images pulled into distorted rings by the monstrous gravity. You try to orient yourself, but the universe itself seems to bend in surrender. You are falling toward something that cannot be seen, only felt, a hunger woven into space-time. From far away, your descent looks slow, graceful, almost gentle. But to you, it feels like falling forever, like being devoured by time itself. As you cross the event horizon, the last photon of light escapes behind you, and suddenly the universe outside freezes. Everything that ever was, or ever will be, seems to compress into that final moment. But inside the horizon, the rules change. Time and space trade places. What was once forward in time, now leads only inward, and the singularity ahead becomes not just a place, but your future. There is no path around it. No escape route, no orbit, no pause. Every possible direction leads to the same destination, the infinite. Einstein's relativity predicts this inevitability, but quantum physics rebels. It insists that no infinities can exist in reality. Somewhere, deep within the chaos of equations, a reconciliation must wait, a theory of quantum gravity that stitches these two visions together. Some physicists believe that the singularity isn't a point at all, but a bridge. A wormhole. A tunnel through space-time that connects one region of the universe to another, or perhaps to another universe entirely. In this view, black holes could be the seeds of new realities, each one a womb where another cosmos is born. The death of one star might spark the birth of infinite worlds beyond ours. It's a beautiful thought, but beauty in the universe is often laced with terror, because if a black hole births another universe, what happens to the matter that falls inside? Is it destroyed or transformed, rewritten into the laws of that newborn cosmos? Could everything we know, everything we are, be nothing more than the residue of another dying universe's collapse? If that's true, then we are living inside someone else's black hole right now. Our Big Bang, that explosion of light and energy, might not have been the first moment of everything, but the aftermath of something else's ending. One reality dying, another blooming from its ashes. The thought is both horrifying and intimate. Horrifying, because it means our existence might be the debris of something lost. Intimate, because it means creation and destruction are one and the same. But there's another horror, quieter and more unsettling, one that doesn't concern what happens inside black holes, but what they do to the universe outside. At the center of almost every galaxy, including our own, lurks a supermassive black hole. Ours, Sagittarius A*, sits 26,000 light-years away, weighing more than 4 million suns. Around it, stars orbit at unimaginable speeds, whole systems whipped by its invisible grip. Without it, the Milky Way as we know it wouldn't exist. These monsters don't just destroy, they shape, they stabilize, they define. Yet even now they grow. Slowly, endlessly devouring stray stars, clouds of gas, and sometimes each other. When two galaxies collide, their central black holes spiral together, merging into something even more massive, their collision sending gravitational waves rippling across the fabric of space-time. Waves that we can now hear, faint echoes picked up by detectors on Earth, the sound of the universe groaning under its own gravity. Each wave is a story of unimaginable violence, a whisper from the deep. And yet, the most terrifying possibility is not what we can observe, but what we can't. Because black holes may not be confined to the galaxies we see. Primordial black holes, smaller, ancient ones formed in the earliest moments of the cosmos, could drift through the darkness unseen. Each one the mass of a mountain or a planet, but compressed to the size of an atom. Invisible, silent, passing through stars, even through Earth, without leaving a trace. They could be everywhere. They could be here. In the grand equation of cosmic matter, something is missing, dark matter, the unseen mass that shapes galaxies and keeps them from flying apart. For decades, scientists have searched for exotic particles to explain it. But what if there are none? What if dark matter is simply a shadow population of these ancient black holes, roaming the cosmos unseen? If so, then we live in a universe haunted by ghosts, invisible holes drifting through the dark, remnants of a time before time. And if one were to pass near us, we wouldn't even know until it was too late. That is the kind of terror black holes carry, not the horror of monsters chasing us, but the horror of inevitability. The knowledge that the universe itself holds regions where reality ceases to be real, where the laws we trust are torn apart like paper in the wind. If this darkness draws you in, not because you crave fear, but because you recognize beauty in the unknown, then you're already attuned to what 404 Altverse stands for. Subscribe, not to escape the void, but to understand it. Because the final layer of this mystery isn't about the stars or the galaxies or even the end of time. It's about us. Because to understand black holes is to understand the fate of everything, including you. The most unsettling truth about black holes isn't what they do to matter or even to space. It's what they do to time. Because inside their gravity wells, time doesn't just slow, it breaks. Imagine this. As you fall toward the event horizon, your heartbeat stretches. Your last second lasts forever. To an outside observer, you never cross the line. You are trapped at the edge of eternity, frozen in that final moment. But from your own perspective, time races on. You fall inward, and the rest of the universe accelerates ahead of you. Stars age, galaxies fade, and the cosmos itself rushes toward its end, all in the span of your descent. In that sense, every black hole is a time machine, but not one that takes you backward or forward. It takes you out. It separates you from the flow of time entirely, locking you in a paradox where the past and future lose meaning. To fall into one is to fall out of history. That thought alone is terrifying enough. But there's a deeper question beneath it, one that touches everything we believe about existence. If time breaks down inside a black hole, what happens to the concept of cause and effect? What happens to the chain of events that defines our universe? Does the collapse of space-time inside these objects mean that, on some level, the universe is self-contained, that its end and beginning are folded together through the gravity of its own making? Some cosmologists believe it might be so. They suggest that black holes could connect to white holes, their theoretical opposites, where matter is expelled instead of consumed. If these pairs exist, they could act as bridges between regions of space-time, looping reality into a structure without boundaries. Every collapse might be a creation, every death a genesis. Others argue that the universe itself could have been born from such a bridge, a black hole from another reality that erupted into ours as a white hole. In that story, the night sky is not a void, but a tapestry of inheritance. We are the descendants of a dying cosmos, still echoing with the memory of its collapse. And when the last black holes evaporate into faint radiation, long after the final stars have gone dark, their remnants may seed the birth of yet another universe, endlessly, across eons too vast for comprehension. Death and rebirth, destruction and creation, forever chasing each other in an infinite spiral. If that's true, then the universe isn't just haunted by black holes, it is one. A cosmic horizon wrapped around everything, its light forever escaping, its truths hidden within. But there's another terror, more intimate. Because black holes don't just distort time and space. They distort our sense of meaning. They remind us that the universe is not built for us, that its scale is indifferent, its beauty unfeeling. To contemplate a black hole is to face the reality that there are places where even thought cannot survive. And yet, that confrontation changes us. Because if meaning cannot exist in the void, we are the ones who must create it. In a universe ruled by entropy and gravity, consciousness becomes rebellion. Every act of wonder, every question, every moment of awe is our defiance against cosmic silence. The universe devours itself endlessly, and yet, through us, it learns to look back. Maybe that's why black holes fascinate us so much. They are not just destroyers, they are mirrors. When we stare into them, we see our own fragility reflected back, our need to find order in chaos, to find purpose in something that doesn't need it. We see how easily we can vanish, and how deeply we long to understand before we do. And perhaps that is the final paradox, that the most terrifying things in the cosmos are also the most necessary. Without black holes, galaxies wouldn't form. Without collapse, there would be no creation. Without death, there would be no change. So when we speak of black holes, we are really speaking of balance, of endings that make beginnings possible, of darkness that gives shape to light. Someday, the Milky Way will collide with the Andromeda Galaxy, and their central black holes will merge into something far greater, sending out waves that ripple through space-time itself. When that happens, no human eyes will be left to see it. But the echo will remain, whispering through the void, "We were here." Because everything that falls into darkness leaves a trace, not in the light we see, but in the gravity that shapes all things. And that, perhaps, is the truest terror of all. Not that we are small or temporary, but that we are part of something that cannot end. That even as we fade, the universe remembers, through the pull of gravity, through the dance of matter and void, through the eternal rhythm of fall and creation. So the next time you look up into the night and see nothing but blackness between the stars, remember, that blackness is not empty. It's alive with everything that has ever been swallowed and everything that will be born again. It is the breath between moments, the heartbeat of forever. And if that thought chills you as much as it awes you, good. That means you're seeing clearly. You're starting to understand what 404 alt verse was always meant for. Not to comfort you, but to wake you. Subscribe and keep descending with us. The deeper we go, the closer we come to the truth that even darkness can illuminate if you're brave enough to look into it. Because the universe is not kind, and it is not cruel. It simply is. And that is what makes it beautiful.